Hey, everybody, welcome to my world. How's your world doing? I don't know about you, but this week's been a crazy week. And I'll tell you what, it's been a real crazy week. Even hitting the wrong button and lighting everything up. I hope I didn't scare anybody. Anyhow, it's been a busy week so far. And it'll probably get busier because this Saturday I will be at the Troy Strawberry Festival. I'm going to have an exciting job, I think. I'm going to monitor temperatures on refrigerated containers. For some reason, they think I'm an old retired health inspector, but anyhow, that's what I'm going to do. Help them out at the festival. There will be thousands of people there, and I will be making sure that the food stored in these special containers that are refrigerated are kept at the proper temperature. Yeah, so I'm helping out. Part of the lodge that I belong to. So we have fun doing that, and we get to meet a lot of interesting people. Troy Strawberry Festival this Friday will be set up Saturday and Sunday, so you want to check it out. Anyhow, we have to do a disclaimer before we go on with the show. So nothing in this show should be considered legal, medical, financial, or investment advice. Take what we say with a big grain of salt, and always do your own research and due diligence. We're not responsible for and expressly disclaim all liability for damages of any kind arising out of use, reference to, or reliance on any information contained in this broadcast. Breathe. Any persons or characters mentioned are, for the most part, fictional or as close to it as we can get. So sit back, relax, and chill out. Did you bring your favorite beverage? How about your snacks? Are you sitting down? Are you comfortable? Well, that's what you have to be for my world because we're laid back. We kick back a little bit. So, hey, tell your friends to join us every Wednesday live right here on the Trim Radio Network. And we have a lot of fun. So you have to check us out, okay? Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So you want to check us out. Wow, what's going on here? I've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. A lot of stuff. Let's see where we're going to go with this one. See if I can get there. Click the right button and you're there. Hey, this is our new layout for the Trim Radio Network. And our motto has always been we cut the bull and serve the truth, trimradio.com. And you can see all of the different formats we are on, including X, Instagram, Rumble, Amazon, and Spotify. So you can check us out on those channels. And I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of good shows. We've got My World, Live, Laugh, and Whatever tonight. Friday, we've got Positude Podcast. Saturday, we've got the Red Pill Reality Show. And then Sunday, we've got Money and Change. And hopefully we can help you save a little bit of money and live a little bit beneath your means so you can survive in an inflationary world. And so you want to check us out there. So a big shout out to the Trim Radio Network for carrying the show. And if you want to support us, buy the merchandise. All you have to do is just go to the shop page and buy our merchandise. We've got some really good stuff. And it helps support the show because we don't get paid and we have to pay for airtime. Yeah, and airtime is not cheap. And considering we go all over the world on the web, airtime is not cheap. So if you want to donate to help the show, that's fine. If you want to go ahead and get advertising, that's fine. Just contact us and we will get you in touch with the people that handle the finances and enjoy our shows. Also, the Red Pill Reality Show, you have to check that out every Saturday. Oh, and we've got Victoria Smith's Natural Marketing Positude. No, we've got, just check out Victoria Smith. She's fantastic. And she tells you how to market your business. So you want to check it out. Wow, we've also got a big shout out to some place called the University of Findlay, located in Findlay, Ohio, www.findlay.edu. That stands for education. Okay, you want to check it out. It's a good school, and right now they have summer conferences going on, maybe a few classes on that campus in Findlay, Ohio. It's a good school, great professors, really good facilities, and a fantastic president by the name of Dr. Kathy Fell. And she's been there for quite a while. Great person. And you just have to check out that campus. I'll tell you what, I was visiting a friend in the hospital today, and a physical therapist came in. And, I said, hey, she's a physical therapist. You have to have a PhD in Ohio to be a physical therapist. I wonder if she went to the University of Findlay, because I know when I had to take physical therapy several years ago, all of mine were from the University of Findlay, all working on a doctorate or they had their doctorate. They were great people. They really knew their business more than a lot of people. I mean, these guys were really, really good. So check out the University of Findlay. I believe they have 5 doctoral programs, 11 master's programs, and 85, 86 undergraduate programs. 3 campuses located in Findlay, Ohio. I'll tell you what, it's a good school. Check it out. It's in an all-American city, and I'll tell you what, it's a good place. Wow, what else we've got? Oh, our Facebook page. Yes. I was explaining to somebody today. I was talking to Ashley, and we were talking about getting a few things done for me. And I told her about the Trim Radio Network, and I told her about what I was setting up tonight to do with my world. And, I showed her the Facebook page and everything. And you can check us out because guess what? We're on Facebook. All you have to ask, and I'll invite you to join the group. And it's about that. All we have here are just invites. And are you in? Are you going to join us? You don't have to drink Bush, but you can also drink your Pepsi or whatever. Okay, but we have our own page here. And just like we do, oh, there's a video about students from the University of Findlay. We won't play that one tonight because we already talked about the University of Findlay. But if you go to our Facebook page, it's facebook.com groups, and then you can type in my world and it will come up. Just check it out and see what we're about. Also, what else is going on? Oh, yeah, Rusty Duck's Custom Pens and Blanks. You have to check them out. If your club, your business, your college or university needs a presentation pen, check Phil out at Rusty Duck's Custom Pens and Blanks because he makes beautiful pens and other things. And I'll tell you what, both Michael Bejas and I have pens made by Phil over at Rusty Duck's Custom Pens and Blanks. Cross pen platforms, they are excellent. He does a fantastic job. He's got a great Second Amendment pen. You really want to check him out. Really. Oh, what else is going on here? You got to check out the Big Family Homestead with Brad and Krista because they're out in the middle of Wisconsin. And they have a little farm out there, but they talk about a lot of different things, not just farming. Brad's a musician by trade, and he's pretty good. Also, you want to check out the Deep South Homestead and Pecan Grove, and that's with Danny and Wanda King in Wiggins, Mississippi. Good people, very smart people. He talks about the economy and everything. Check him out. Southern Prepper One with Dave Kobler. Check out Dave's page. I've talked with him on YouTube, oh, many times. And I've known him for probably about 15 years. Very smart person. He talks a little bit about the economy and prepping. Very good guy to listen to. Also, we've got Prepper Nurse with Rachel. And sometimes I will post her videos over on Money and Change, our other Facebook page. We've also got Prepper Princess with Amber Stork. Check her out. She tells you how to live frugally. And she knows how. She's a self-made millionaire. Also, check out LDS Prepper with David Gilmore. And like I always tell people, hey, get yourself a thing called a GMRS radio. This is an Ocean 935G Plus with a Nagoya 771 antenna. I know everybody says, well, that doesn't mean anything to me. But when the power goes down and your cell phones don't work, the phones don't work, the internet's down, guess what? GMRS radios, if you can charge them up and keep them charged up, your whole family can communicate with a one-time license with GMRS radios through the FCC. It's good for 10 years. It's good for 10. Anybody in your family can use it. Just follow the rules. No tests involved. It's a good thing. Check them out, GMRS radios. It's great to have. I can talk from where I live, 35 miles away to Dayton, Ohio, and hit a repeater and talk out 90 miles beyond that. And I'll tell you what, that's doing good with this little radio. Okay. Oh, and Dave Gilmore, you got me started on it. And check out his videos on YouTube. Fantastic videos. Wow. Also, the Max with Colby. You have to check him out too. I guess I've talked about all my buddies here. And somebody asked me, do you get paid to do that? I said, no, they're friends. They're Facebook friends. They're YouTube friends. They're Rumble friends. And gee whiz, if I can tell you about their shows and some of the stuff that they talk about and it helps you, then I've done my job. I don't get paid for it. I don't want paid for it. You know why? It's something called taxes. You know what taxes are? Are we taxed and overtaxed? A lot of people will nod yes. Well, yeah. So, if I can help somebody out, I'll help them out. That's the way it goes. Okay. Wow, what else is going on? Oh, hey, have you heard about those fires up in Canada? I believe it's up in Vancouver and Manitoba and all that area. There was something on Zero Hedge, Canada's wildfire smoke set to blanket New York City. Hmm. I imagine there's other smoke blanketing New York City, probably like there would be out in Height, Ashbury, and so forth in California. That kind of smoke. Who knows? But anyhow, the Canadian wildfire smoke is going to hit New York City. It's already been here in Ohio. In the last few days, I'll tell you what, I've had little devices I get for purifying the air. And I've got some big ones. I've got some small ones. I have one here in the studio. And I'll tell you what, the particles that are put out in that forest fires that they have out in Canada, you can smell it. And at night, you can see the red haze, in the sunset. And in the morning, when you wake up, you see a red sun rising and you can smell it. You can actually smell the fire. Now, some people with sinuses don't smell it, but their eyes burn, skin itches, all that kind of stuff. It happens. So you want to make sure that you stay in air that's without smoke, get it purified, get a good air filter, and you'll do okay. But anyhow, according to Tyler Durden at Zero Hedge, a plume of wildfire smoke from ongoing blazes in the Canadian prairies is tracking southeastward, already impacting the Dakotas, spreading across the Midwest and Ohio Valley, and is forecast to reach the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast later today. Now, the National Weather Service has issued an air quality alert for the Northeast, including New York City metro area, and due to elevated particulate levels associated with the smoke plume. The air quality index has 6 ratings that measure air pollution: good or green, 0 to 50, and moderate is yellow, 51 to 100. Unhealthy for sensitive groups, it's orange, 101 to 150. Unhealthy, red zone, 151 to 200. Very unhealthy is purple, 201 to 300. And hazardous, they have down here, it looks like maroon or moron, maroon is 301 and higher. When I worked in Cincinnati, that we had wildfires that were down in the forest in Kentucky. And one time I was walking out of my office and I was in the hallway on the ninth floor of the Inquirer building, which was a newspaper building in Cincinnati. And we had smoke hanging about a foot down from the ceiling, which we had about 12-foot ceilings in that building. And you could see the smoke. And the air conditioning had been turned off. And they were getting ready to turn the heat on and just they were switching systems. It was something else, and we had to breathe that stuff. Luckily, I could do facility visitations and health examinations at the University of Cincinnati and basically stay inside the whole time I was there. And that came in handy. Being out in that weather and breathing that stuff, oh, that was quite nasty. So, watch how you breathe. If you're really sensitive, stay inside. Make sure you have air purifiers. That's just a word to the wise. Wow. Later gator. Indiana sheriff's deputy discovers an alligator on the roadway. In Indiana? I mean, Florida, yeah. But Indiana? Holy cow. Let's see what WLWT says. That's Channel 5 in Cincinnati. If I can get it to go. Let's see. Is it going to work for me or is it not? You mean you're not going to do anything? Son of a gun. What's going on here? Well, it's not going to play. It did earlier. Well, anyhow, they were talking about other things going on. And here's a gator they found down in, I believe this is South Carolina. Can you imagine a gator like that? They thought it was actually a dinosaur. Can you, how dumb can people be? Dinosaurs don't look like alligators. Maybe the prehistoric ones that were probably gigantic, but who knows? We weren't around that time, were we? The prehistoric perp has been cited for suspicion of being a dinosaur without proper papers, public loitering with intent to sunbathe, and obstructing traffic, according to the sheriff's office. And Pepe was eventually captured and taken to a boat ramp on Camp Geiger, a few miles away, and released back into the wild on the same day, Sheriff's Office spokesperson Trevor Donnell told USA Today. No injuries were reported except for Pepe's pride when he refused to be cuffed. Can you imagine slapping the cuffs on an alligator? They had to throw something over his eyes and then tape his mouth shut. I don't think he was quite happy. And if he really wanted to, I believe Pepe the alligator could send all of those deputies flying with one good flick of his tail. I don't know. Alligators are common in this was in North Carolina, and alligators are naturally occur in North Carolina, according to the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission, and can be found inhabiting bay, lakes, rivers, creeks, marshes, swamps, ponds, probably backyards, knocking on doors in the middle of the night. And the state is the northern extent of the alligator's range. And they naturally become less common as you move from south to north along the North Carolina coast. Well, how's come they found one in Indiana? Because people were raising them. They got a little bit big, and guess what? They decided to turn them loose. And they turned them loose in the wild. And yeah, there are alligators there for a while. I had a friend of mine one time growing up, and he had an alligator, and they made a special cage for it, and they fed it and everything. And finally, the alligator just got too big to be in that size cage. And the cage itself was probably 8 feet long and about 4 feet wide. And this was just a baby alligator, and we had to take it down to the Dayton Natural History Museum. They agreed to take it. That was a trip. I mean, can you imagine an alligator looking out the window as you're driving down the road? I mean, yeah, this was interesting. Um, if you're going to raise an alligator, don't. I know I wouldn't want to have one. Could you imagine hearing something knocking against your door and there's an alligator up against the door, getting ready to break the glass and come in and see what's for dinner? Hmm? Oh, I'll tell you what, that's something else. What else is going on here? Oh, hey, how about a little Larry the Cable Guy? I thought you guys might get a kick out of this one. So you might want to listen to Larry. Here he is. Have you ever gotten a wedding invitation from somebody that you barely know? The hell? It's like getting a bill in the mail. I hate weddings. I was at one a while back. Holy smokes, I ain't saying the bride was overweight, but whew. My buddy caught the garter belt. He's still been using it to tie up cordwood on his pickup truck. Oh, these were some big. You should have seen the bridesmaids. Their corsages was personal pan pizzas. All right, I ain't kidding with you. They all went to school together. They were in the same sorority, so they had their sorority shirts on. You know, Thelma Ada Tata. My uncle just got married, 72 years old. My God, he ran out of Viagra on the honeymoon, so he ended up having to use a can to fix a flat. I know, to make a long story short, he overinflated and spent the rest of the night at Jiffy Lube having to get a patch put on him. Hey, this is crazy. True story. Check this out. My mother-in-law last month won $400 in a hot dog eating contest. Somebody, $400. 40 hot dogs in 10 minutes she ate. I couldn't believe it. Oh, my mother-in-law, not talking for 10 minutes. I know. Oh, she talked. I know. She can talk. She's the only woman at the beach getting melanoma on her tongue. All right, I can. I'm not a big gambler. My grandma, holy mackerel. I'm not saying she's addicted to blackjack, but she's got a medical alert bracelet on that says, "In case of emergency, split the kings." My wife likes to go with me when I go to Las Vegas because she likes to go see the Chippendale. Yeah. You know why she likes going to the Chippendale? She didn't marry very good. She married a Chunkendale. She gives me money to put my clothes back on. But she does. I like going out there to Las Vegas. That's where you see all the 1970s, 80s classic rock bands singing out there. Now, I like them bands. Hey, only difference between seeing them bands now and 30 years ago, go backstage, smell like pot everywhere. Now it smells like pot and Bengay. You go back there. They all still got long hair, too. Ain't that some? Unfortunately, it's coming out their nose and ears on most of them bellies. Oh, yeah. All right. So much for Larry the Cable Guy. Boy, I'll tell you what. Sometimes I wonder about that guy. I haven't seen him in years. And so where he gets his stuff, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, he'll say, "Well, I saw a lady and she was so wide she had a backup alarm on her." I mean, the guy's crazy. Okay, he has a really good show though when he puts it on the air, so you have to check him out. Wow, what else is going on here? I had something about Chinese stuff. It's not like going to a Chinese restaurant. Let's see if I can get that up here because it was interesting. Let's see if we can do that. If I hit the right button, I'll be okay, guys. I swear. It's just a matter of hitting the right button and remembering which button you're supposed to hit. It's very easy to do. I was like I said, I was telling Ashley, I said this is very easy to do. All you have to do is hit the right button. And all you have to do is just, know where you're at, set your show up and be able to hit the button. Sometimes, well, you forget. Anyhow, let's see what we've got here with the Chinese because it's interesting here. Um, the Chinese nationals were caught smuggling agro-terrorism fungus in America's breadbasket. There's a fungus among us? Well, it said in a plot that reads like a Tom Clancy novel crossed with a dystopian agribusiness nightmare, two Chinese nationals, Yang Qing Yan or Jian, 33, and Zunyang Liu, 34, have been slapped with a federal charge for allegedly smuggling a biological ticking time bomb into the U.S. It's agribusiness. Has something to do with the farm, doesn't it? Anyhow, the weapon, well, it's Fusarium graminarium, a fungus dubbed the potential agroterrorism weapon by scientific literature, capable of wreaking havoc on America's wheat, barley, maize, and rice crops while poisoning humans and livestock with its toxic byproduct. And they show those little gizmos in those little bags. Well, the stage was the Detroit Metropolitan Airport, where Leo's clumsy attempt to sneak the pathogen past Customs and Border Protection (CBP) officers unraveled faster than a cheap yuan store sweater. Well, I'll tell you what. Do you have a garden? A lot of people that I listen to that talk about prepping, whether it's Doug and Stacy on YouTube, or it could be any one of the other guys that I talk about. They have gardens and they say, what's going to happen is eventually we're going to have to be growing our own foods, and have you started? And I'm thinking, well, I just built my raised planter. I had to buy another one because it was falling apart. And I had to get the dirt and everything put in there and get it assembled, so forth. And I've just planted my garden. I'm about 3 weeks late. But I will have tomatoes this fall, sometime in August, up through probably October. But I started my garden. Other people have started gardens, and it's easy to do. And, you take a look at Danny and Wanda King. They have tunnel greenhouses. It's interesting to watch their show because they explain how to do things in an indoor environment, as well as growing things out at Pecan Grove. So you have to check them out. But, they're saying grow your own food. Why? Because the processed foods aren't exactly that good for you. And I believe them. There's nothing better than fresh cucumbers, fresh onions. Hey, I haven't even planted those yet. And zucchini, squash, things like that. It's time to start doing that. If you haven't started, go ahead. I have a friend of mine. I just communicated with him. He and his wife just came back from Florida, and they planted something like, I believe, 60 tomato plants, a whole bunch of cucumber plants. All I did was plant grass because they had to kill off all my grass due to a Bermuda grass infection. So everything that I do has to be in a raised container because they have too much invested in that new grass. But they started a big garden, and they are going to have quite a garden when they get done. So, they're just doing what's rational because you need to grow your own food. Why? Because food in the grocery store is getting expensive. So, if you can eat cheaper with better food that you've grown from your garden, that's fantastic. So, hopefully, within about I'll say the end of July, early August, I'll be able to do that. I still have to plant cilantro, and it could be the wrong season for that. Um, but I like salsa. I make my own salsa. I have my own secret recipe, and by golly, I'm not giving it out. Anyhow, check your food. See where it's been grown. Always wash the food, the vegetables that you have, wash it and know where things have been grown, how they've been handled. Because in some cases, I was reading that, they wash things off with chemicals, and a lot of it is chlorine. And then you go to take a sample of the food that you're getting or the vegetables that you're getting, and it has a trace amount of chlorine in there. Do you want to eat chlorine? I don't think so. So beware of your food this season. What else is going on? Oh, NGOs, non-government organizations. There was an article, and I'll bring this out in Money and Change this weekend. But the House Doge subcommittee exposes public funds, private agendas, and NGOs gone wild. They said around 2 p.m. ET Eastern Time. The subcommittee on delivering on government efficiency, or DOGE, will hold a hearing titled Public Funds, Private Agendas, NGOs Gone Wild under Trump administration. The NGO industrial complex has been exposed as nothing more than a money pit for how, I'll just say liberals, you see the word that's posted here, have funneled billions in taxpayer dollars into mysterious nonprofits that advance national or nation destroying policies. Yeah. So the aid comes from the federal government. It goes to another NGO, then it goes to another NGO, and it goes to another NGO, and another NGO, and then finally it gets to you. And there's the cartoon showing what happens. Everybody is taking a little bit of money all the way down the end. So the feds give out money, the NGO takes a little bit, passes it on to another NGO, who passes it on to another one. And finally, when it gets to the source, or not the source, but where it's supposed to go, you're only talking pennies on the dollar. It's interesting how those things work. How about artificial intelligence? Do they have any of that in Washington, D.C.? I don't think they have any intelligence in Washington, D.C. Oh, well, I'm lost for words because I'll tell you what, Nadine had one that she told, and she said to Larry, she said, "Hey, do you know that they're using politicians for experiments?" He says, "Politicians for experiments? What do you mean?" Well, politicians are more numerous than rats. And he said, "What else?" He said, "Politicians will do stuff that rats won't do." Well, anyhow, artificial intelligence, I've got a video on that here. This is kind of like a trailer, and it's kind of interesting and something to think about. Lord knows I need artificial intelligence. Some people say I need intelligence.
At a time when man has become dependent on robots to satisfy our every need. Man made us better at what we do than was ever humanly possible. Science will create a new order of artificial being. The machine. I'm a boy. Impossible. more intelligent, more feeling, and more human than ourselves. Until you were born, robots didn't dream, robots didn't desire unless we told them what to want. Some of us would embrace it.
He is only a child.
Oh, I think he's a toy.
He's a gift.
Others will fear it. They made us too smart, too quick, and too many. That's why they made us.
Stay away from people. Stay away from all people. Only others like you are safe.
The humans, they'll stop at nothing.
What do we do?
You'll have to journey towards the moon. Are you afraid of seeing the stars? You have to reach them.
You know, a little story about artificial intelligence. I was at a meeting one time, and one of the people wrote a research paper, and he didn't tell us that it was written by artificial intelligence. And we listened to it. It was like 30 pages long, and he was reading the whole thing. And about midway through, it suddenly took a different turn. And we listened to it. We said, no, that doesn't exist. And he kept saying that so and so had a wife and so forth, made this story up. And we all looked at him like, wait a minute, that's not good research. And finally at the end he says, well, that's was written by artificial intelligence. You give it the storyline and then turn it loose and it does its own thing. And it was interesting, but it wasn't real. And we finally caught it at the very end. Can you imagine things that are run by artificial intelligence? Would it make sense? I don't know. I mean, it's bad enough. I don't even use Copilot on anything with Windows. I don't want to use it because I can't trust it. And sometimes you look up things about certain people and you want to see background history on them. And artificial intelligence takes over. They write this blurb and you read it and it seems real. But you wonder how real it really is. So is artificial intelligence a good thing? Could you imagine if Washington, D.C. had artificial intelligence? Well, it'd probably help things out quite a bit because I don't think there's a lot of intelligent people in Washington, D.C. Oh, that's not a political statement. That's probably truth. Anyhow, what else is going on? We've got a bunch of other stuff. And I'll tell you what, if I can find that button to hit that button to make things happen, let's just see what we can do here because I do have some stuff for you tonight. It's just finding that magical button. Anybody can do a show with us. It's very easy. We just have to show you where to find the magical button. Hey, it's story time with Nadine. Let's check this one out.
Uh-oh, here she comes.
Oh, no. Watch out.
You good-looking woman.
Well, checks in the mail.
Yeah.
Checks in the mail. I'm here with my OCD. Old, cranky, and dangerous.
It's good to
How
see
you?
you. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you
Isn't it good
too.
to see Miss Susie over there?
Honey, I tell you what,
Oh,
that girl's done everything.
oh.
Good friend.
I just reading about her makes me tired.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn some stuff from her. I was asking her if she's written a book yet, and she's of course she's not halfway there to write a book, so she's done everything.
You're ready to write yours by now, though.
I'm ready to do. I think I'm gonna get her to teach me to do jewelry and leather work.
I'm telling you,
I know.
this
She can
gal.
do everything.
One time she came on a show I was hosting, and she brought a dog biscuit that she made out of an old skunk, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very chewy and stayed with you for a long time.
Ew.
Ew.
Well, I gotta tell you, I've been busy too. My sister-in-law was in the hospital last week. She had a rough, pretty serious, but I mean, she was getting discharged. The nurse came in there to take her, and must have been a dumb nurse, I guess. I don't know. But her husband Clyde was sitting there, and she said, "Get in the wheelchair." So he got in the wheelchair and put the suitcase in his lap, and took him down the elevator and got down there and says, "Your wife gonna meet you in the parking lot?" And he said, "Well, I don't know. She's up there changing out of her hospital gown." People, I'm telling you. And I went up there to see her last week, and her daughter was there, my niece.
What's her name?
She's a piece of work. Sybil.
Sybil.
You read that book? That's her.
All 7 of them were
I
there.
have never seen anybody. She's first of all, she smells like a smokestack. And then she's got these tattoos all over her. And this really nice looking doctor walked in, and she looked at him and she said, "Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again?"
Oh.
And he looked at her like she was crazy. And I just couldn't help myself. I just said, "Look, trash pickup is tomorrow. Be ready."
Can't wait to look in your
I mean,
Christmas
I'm
stocking.
telling you, it's cold over here. I don't know why. But she's like those, some people are like those, my glow sticks. My grandkids play with them. You just want to break them and shake them till the light comes on.
Keith just got that there. Yeah.
We're all old and slow here.
Easily entertained.
Well, I'm gonna go put the sign up because I don't want to mess up her. I want to hear some more of her songs.
Isn't she good? What's the sign?
The sign says, "I can't brag about my love for God because I fail him daily, but I can brag about his love for me because it never fails."
I like that.
And that's Nadine. Oh, yeah. For some reason, I found that Larry's Country Diner, and when Nadine gets on there, she can be so funny. She's like a modern day Minnie Pearl. And Minnie Pearl back in the, I don't know, 30s and 40s, she was a character. I'll have to dig up one of those videos of Minnie Pearl. She was original, okay? And she could sing and dance and do all kinds of stuff, but Minnie Pearl was Minnie Pearl. Well, what else do we have going on? Let's see. Can I find that button again? They ought to make those buttons bigger. But I bet you I can find it. There we go. Okay. Well, what else is going on? Oh, strange news. Seagull stealing from shop and painting underwater. What's going on there?
Starting strange this week with a cheeky bear who got a little bit hungry. This bird feeder had a camera attached to it to look at the birds when they came for some food, but they had a bit of a surprise when they found this cheeky chappie had taken not only some seeds, but the entire feeder with the camera attached to it. Next up, you wouldn't necessarily put paint and underwater together, would you? Surely your artwork would start to run. Well, this woman is trying to create a special type of paint that will allow her to get creative underwater. She's had some success, but says there's still a bit of a way to go. I'm just wondering how it will dry out. Lastly, this week we've got another cheeky animal, this time a seagull. You know you need to look out for them trying to pinch your chips by the sea. But how about this? For 6 years, this bird has been stealing from this shop. It's taken around 30 packets of crisps in the last 2 months. How does it open the packet to eat them?
Wow. Stealing potato chips. What would happen if that seagull got a package of X-Lax? Could you imagine the outcry from people flying around, having that bird flying around them? Oh, wow. Hey, here's politically correct, not Nadine. Let's see if we can find out what she's doing.
There it is. And here she is. Nadine. You know, when you first open that door, the look on your face is like,
Another day, another dollar.
you're going to have to
How
close
you
the
doing?
door. He can't afford
You
to
know,
keep stealing this.
something's wrong with that door. I don't know what it
It's
is.
the person that came in.
Yeah. Hey, John. How y'all doing?
Hey, don't shake the
Good to
wall.
have you.
All right, go ahead.
I was just telling John how good it was to have him here.
Oh, it is good.
I like his music. My husband, Homer, is very upset, and he's not wearing any rose-colored glasses. He got his tax return returned to him because it said the IRS said it wasn't acceptable.
Uh-oh.
And well, it said, do you have anybody dependent on you? And he put, 11 million illegal immigrants, 31 million crackheads, 2 million prisoners, and 650 idiots in Washington. And they sent him back. They sent it back. They said this is not acceptable. And he wrote him a little note, and he said, well, who did I leave out? But you know, a lot of critics say that Washington doesn't handle what do you call it? Secret service or secret intelligence. So I think they do a tremendous job hiding their intelligence. Tell you what, if Liar's pants caught on fire, the news would be a heck of a lot more interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They have fire every week, every day. Well, you know, sometimes I wonder why we're so obsessed with finding life on other planets, because you can't find intelligent life here much anymore. I'm on a soapbox today. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just, you know, just telling it like it is.
Soapbox time.
Yeah.
Got to get it out of your system.
Mm-hmm. I'm feeling better already. Homer had a hunting buddy. He said he'd figured out that if you get out and you're hunting and you get lost, all you gotta do is start talking politics, because somebody will show up to argue with you. Yeah.
It's true.
They all need a straitjacket. But anyway, I'm gonna go put the sign up.
Yeah, when all else fails, put the time.
Yeah.
What's it going to say?
We gotta wake everybody up here, John. You need to wake everybody up here. It's gonna say, America lost its true identity when more value was placed on suits and a signature rather than overalls and a handshake.
Oh boy, you got it. Oh, man, good.
That's going to take me a while. I'm going to be out there 2 days putting that up.
But it's so true.
It is.
You need to get out there and flag traffic down and point the sign and make sure they read it.
People
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I thank you for all you do, Nadine.
Well, I appreciate that, Alan. Appreciate it.
Oh boy, Nadine. Hey, what else is going on? Oh, the Wrinkle City Gazette. Somebody sent me a text on Facebook, and they said, "We haven't seen the Wrinkle City Gazette in a long time. What happened?" And I said, "Well, I used to be able to post them on the Facebook page, but then Facebook changed the way they do things. And everyone that I posted disappeared. It's amazing." Well, the Wrinkle City Gazette, I wrote that for over uh, 10 or 12 years. I had over 235 editions. And it was about stuff in a small town, a lot like Nadine and other people. And I would always write one each month. And it would be about the goings on in a small town. It could be any town. I had somebody read the Wrinkle City Gazette, and they were out in Michigan. They said, "How'd you know about my town?" I said, "What do you mean? Everything in there was about my town." I had somebody down in Florida. "Hey, how'd you know about my town? You wrote about my town." It was a lot of common stuff that goes on in every town. Well, this last month, we had Memorial Day, and towns always have a Memorial Day parade. I mean, even small towns, maybe. Well, maybe. We had one not too far from where I live, and everybody came to my city where they had a big parade because they didn't want to have a parade or they couldn't find a wagon to pull. I don't know. But anyhow, Wrinkle City had their own parade, and the Wrinkle City Memorial Day Parade was somewhat of a success, despite intermittent sprinkles and a little bit of rain. The Memorial Day Parade was, as usual, quite an ordeal. Local police color guard was there, the scouts, the brownies waved flags, and they led the procession, followed by the Scapegoat Band, the high school band. The Wrinkle City Volunteer Fire Department, the antique cars, and as usual, Bud Milfoil's hooey hearse bringing up the end. Over 25 Boy Scouts and Brownies waved their flags as they attempted to march in straight lines while waving to the assembled crowds along the way. "And we always enjoy participating in the parade," said Scoutmaster Del Foster. "It helps us get our hiking badge." Well, the Scapegoat Band was made up of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors trying to play music, and the seniors were not in attendance as they were trying to sober up after the prom or doing community service for toilet papering the trees in front of the high school. Well, the local car club had its cars in the parade, and some spewing out noxious odors since they didn't have catalytic converters and their horns were blaring at the crowds. Now, the Wrinkle City Volunteer Fire Department had all three trucks in the parade spewing dark clouds of French fry smelling diesel fumes as they passed in review. And when asked about the dark cloud of French fry fumes, Chief Red Spenders said they were trying to save money by using used fry oil from McDougal's and Wendy's. "It's cheap, it burns, and it makes you hungry at the same time," he said. "The firemen have put on 10 extra pounds," exclaimed Chief Spenders. Later on, down the parade route, Chief Spenders and his father, Gino, got in a little bit of an argument as to which side each would wave to the crowd. And a heated argument ensued, causing the police chief, Barney One Bullet McGinty, to pull them over to settle the argument. Each waving hand was handcuffed to the door, and the parade proceeded without argument. The Memorial Day parade slowly and smoothly traveled down School Street to Park Avenue. It seems like the parade was doing well until Bud Milfoil's tractor stalled again for the seventh straight year for 5 minutes, halting the parade. And old Bud was on his way to his field about 8 blocks from the cemetery where he wanted to fertilize the pasture with some fresh hog manure. He said, I was cutting through town, and next thing you know, I was in the parade. Well, the editor believes that Bud's getting even with the city, but who knows? Everybody was waving to me, so I waved back and followed the guys in front of me like we did last year, said Milfoil. I went to give the tractor the gas, and it just pooped out and died. Now, the tractor wouldn't restart in the high humidity of the morning, and the manure was getting pretty rank. And if it weren't for the rescue squad wearing their breathing gear and a couple of cops with gas masks helping me, I'd never gotten the dang tractor restarted, said Milfoil. And this is the 7th time it's happened. Well, after the parade regained its composure and headed toward the cemetery, the kids enjoyed other units of the parade. Well, only in Wrinkle City, guys, only in Wrinkle City. Oh, yeah, only in Wrinkle City. Well, you're from Wrinkle City when the final owner of every car you buy, you know that it's you. And when you've been hospitalized at the Band-Aid station, the local Band-Aid station, for pain in the butt, and they've run a $50,000 worth of tests only to find out that you got a wedgie in your crack, you're from Wrinkle City. When all the girls on your high school drill team are now strippers at Boobs and Beer. I guess that's a local bar. When the tattoo parlor artist is the wealthiest man in town. And when you complain about your high electric water bills, due to your negligence. When you're from Wrinkle City, when you have to wait wait for your mechanic to get out of jail to fix your transmission. Ain't that the truth? Hey, you're from Wrinkle City when both you and your wife wore ponytails on your wedding day and dressed as hillbillies. You're from Wrinkle City when you're in a restaurant and have to send your kids to the car to get your false teeth. And you're from Wrinkle City when your bar tab at Lush's Bar has multiple page numbers. And you're from Wrinkle City when you get this newspaper for free. Well, considering I wrote that, yeah. Considering it was free, yeah, that's what it was. Anyhow, guys, that's all I've got for the show tonight. And I hope you enjoyed it, because I know I enjoyed giving it out to everybody. So with that, I got to play the exit number. If I can find the button here again, it's messing me up. Would you believe I have to hit that button? I got it. Now you're going to get it. Here's the ending stream. Have a good week, guys. See you Sunday on Money and Change at 7 p.m. and it's live. See ya.
In a world drowning in noise, where truth is often buried beneath layers of propaganda and misinformation, there's a need for a different kind of a network of creators that cuts through the clutter, that doesn't shy away from tough topics, and that delivers the unfiltered truth. We are Trim Radio Network. We are creators, we are innovators, we are investigators. We're the ones who aren't afraid to call a spade a spade. If you're ready to participate in thought-provoking discussions, informational topics, and of course today's biggest headlines, subscribe to our YouTube channel today. We're Trim Radio Network. We're cutting the bull and serving the truth.